A friendly encounter over the weekend was not so friendly between Brazil and Chile. Do you like what I did there?
Yeah, I like it. It's not that friendly.
Was not friendly. Neymar has come out and said that Chile were employing some UFC tactics. Actually not trying to play the game by the rules, but instead kicking him all over the field. And going by picture form, it's kind of easy to agree with Neymar. If you watch the game, which I did, there was some occasions that they were a little bit rash specifically on him. Obviously, that's part of the game plan because Neymar is Brazil's best player. And how do you stop the best player? We've seen what the world has tried to do to Lionel Messi.
Tackle him.
Kick him, try and kick him around, do what you have to do. And sometimes I'm not all for it, but I think that there is that physicality that I love about the game that I never want to be taken away. But I do not agree with what Gary Medel has done because you've seen Skirtle now, who's going to face the punishment in the Premier League, which I said in a tweet, it was stupid at the end of the game on De Gea. Steven Gerrard sent off against Liverpool for stamping, and he's done the same thing. He's stepped on Neymar's leg and calf when he's on his way up. It's just something that was not needed in the game. He comes out and says that Neymar was overreacting. Clearly states there that he stood wrong.
Chile is basically employing my FIFA tactics because it's the only way I win. I mean, I totally understand Neymar's their best player. Messi's Argentina's best player. I'm sorry. Yes, definitely Argentina's best player, and also Barcelona's.
Yes.
All these things. And when you watch them play, there's a line that has to be drawn, I guess. But when I watch it, I go, you know what? I don't disagree with it, mostly because if you're willing to accept the consequence of it, yeah, that's how you're going to have to stop the players that are just that much better than you are.
Yeah, and I mean,
it's not right, but it's a way of winning.
Yeah, and Neymar voiced his opinions, right? We
had some quotes. He said, "This wasn't a game of football. It meant to be football, not UFC. The referee is there to stop these things from happening. But there were 4 referees, and none of them saw anything. It seems we have to suffer. I am a sufferer."
Yes, and Neymar is one of them who is... We've seen in the World Cup that he came under scrutiny for the way he would react when touched, and there is this part of the game that I loathe. I hate it. When people flop, specifically in the La Liga, it's a cultural thing that they just assume it's okay to go down and try and get the other person sent off. And that's one thing that... you can draw a foul, right? If you're going to gain a certain advantage from being tackled and going down, yeah, go down and be like, all right, that's a foul. You don't need to try and get the other player sent off. I don't agree with that. Right. But in this situation, I have to say that Medel is guilty. Like, he is guilty of stamping on his way up. He can clearly move his foot and not stand on Neymar. And Neymar's one of the best players in the world at the moment. I would not like to see something like that happen to him to the point that he has a serious injury, which happened in the World Cup.
Speaking of the back injury, which was
because in this way, because people then, it's like the boy who cried wolf, right? He's consistently saying, "Oh, I'm hurt, I'm hurt." Bang, he gets hit really hard. It's still a rash tackle. Actually, the one that did injure him, I didn't think was anywhere near as bad as some of the tackles that were done on him. But that happens when that mentality is out there to stop the world's best player. That can happen.
Right, and of course, there's the injury risk.
Yeah.
But I also find that even as a fan of all sports, when I watch players go down and I consider it a flop, sometimes it's actually not a flop.
Yeah.
But I like what Medel had to say. Tackles are normal in a game.
Yeah.
Some players do theater, as I think Arjen Robben.
Yes, of course.
Prime
He's an Oscar winner. We gave him the Oscar.
Golden Globe, Emmy.
We gave him the Ballon d'Or, the fall on the floor.
The fall on the floor award. Other players, football, it's a pity that not everyone gets on with the game. I like that kind of rash.
Yeah. And he's a hard tackler. He's a Roy Keane of Chile. I like to go back to
references. Well, one of the things I looked up was in 25 appearances, you have to let me know if this is a ridiculous amount of fouls or if it's not. I don't really know. 7 yellow cards in 25 appearances this season.
From him?
Yes. 1 red card. I don't know where that stands. Maybe he's just a physical guy and gets booked.
He would probably fit in the Chelsea team. I'll tell you that. It sounds like he's physical. 1 red card in 25. I mean, it's a lot of players. It's not a bad ratio. If you're getting 3 or 4, I understand it. Still, you don't want as many red cards as you can. But Gary Medel I watched him in the World Cup. He's small, he's stocky, he's physical. I like him as a player. Tackles all you want, but off the ball, standing on Neymar's leg when you know that the world's going to be watching, I wouldn't be surprised if they would come out and maybe give him a punishment for that, because stamping is something that they're trying to stamp out. No pun intended. All puns intended.
All puns intended here on TYG Sports. Well, one of the things about the stamps too, specifically, is that when you say it happens off the ball, we live in a time of social media dominating everything. Therefore, if you don't think you're going to get away with this, you're wrong.
Yeah.
Because these things get circulated. Like, there's nothing that's going to be missed. And do you know who's especially not going to miss that? Whoever assigns these fines.
Yes, of course.
They're going to watch it over and over, and they're going to go, yeah, that's a stamp.
Yeah, and Skirtles was so clear against Manchester United, and I was like, it was the last seconds. You've lost the game. You're professional. Don't be a sore loser.
That's frustration.
Yeah, it's frustration, but you cannot let it get to you as a professional football player, such as Matic did as well, when he had a bad tackle, which I did a clip on, and people disagreed. Bad tackle on him, gets up, runs and pushes a guy, gets sent off, his team draw and lose some points. It's seriously, you got to think rationally as a professional football player and understand there's a heat at the moment, but some things just happen. I have to say, I agree with physicality. I like hard tackles, but what Medel did in this game, it probably warrants a red card if the referee's seen it, going by the rule book, and I don't accept it.
And
so
according to Neymar, all 4 of them missed it. Well, you know what they don't miss, though? When I play FIFA, I have about 7 yellow cards. Because I am all about that
That
no
game.
Easy shots.
Yeah, it's good.
Because I get destroyed.
And good mentality. And what's your winning streak at the moment?
In my ultimate team, I'm Division 9.
All right. Well,
Division
on that sad, sour note, let's leave it there. Make sure to comment in the section below. As always, we love to interact with our commentators, so please make sure to leave your comments and subscribe to TYT Sports.